Hey, I'm working on an upload, but I thought I would just give you something real quick on 1 Corinthians. I remember back before I got my Bible and my doctrine straight, 1 Corinthians used to just give me a fit. And this was usually where Christians were tempted to try and go to what they call the original Greek, which they didn't have, but they had to go to Greek to try and explain away what was going on here. Because you go over to 1 Corinthians 14 and 15, and especially 14 here, it's talking about tongues. What are all the rules for tongues? Who can speak in tongues, and what is an unknown tongue, and all this sort of stuff. Well, what's going on here? Well, it's more simple than you might think, and you don't have to know Greek. In fact, Greek will just mess you up. The tongues. I think the tongues is the main thing. But let's look at, I got some sticky notes to make this quick. Mark 16. Mark 16, you've got the apostles here. Jesus Christ sending out the 11. And says, and these signs, that's the key word there, signs. And these signs shall follow them that believe. Believe what? Believe who? These are the people that believe under an apostle. This isn't just anyone that believes. Someone comes to Mark 16 and says, oh, well, I just got somebody saved, so they're going to do this. No, he's talking to the 11 apostles, and these signs shall follow them that believe under an apostle. So if you were saved under an apostle 2,000 years ago, or if you were one of the 11 apostles, you would have these signs. In my name shall they cast out devils. They shall speak with new tongues. There's your tongues. They shall take up serpents, and if they drink any deadly thing, so on and so forth. Okay? There's your signs. The Lord working with them, the apostles, and then the signs would follow under those saved underneath an apostle. You weren't saved under an apostle. So back in 1 Corinthians, what's going on in Corinthians? What was going on in the church at Corinth that all this weird stuff was going on? And do you need to be concerned about it today? Let's look at what the Bible has to say. Let me go to 1 Corinthians chapter 2, 1:22. That's what I want. Get the camera on here. All right. You've probably heard this before. For the Jews require a sign. So that tongue is a sign. All that kind of stuff is sign gifts. For the Jews require a sign, and the Greeks seek after wisdom, but we, the church, the Christians, but we, the church, the Christians, preach Christ crucified, unto the Jews a stumbling block, and unto the Greeks foolishness. So there's a key right there. It's the Jews that require a sign. So what was going on in Corinth? You go to Acts chapter 18, and voila. Here's 43 to 45 AD. After these things, Paul departed from Athens and came to Corinth. There's our Corinth. He's going to the Corinthian church and all that, right? Look at what's there. And he reasoned in the synagogue. Now, what's in the synagogues? Unbelieving Jews, right? Let's get my phone on here. Testified to the Jews. There's your synagogue. Corinthians. Go down to verse 17. The synagogue. So you had a synagogue at Corinth, and that's what's going on with all these tongues and stuff, all these sign gifts. It's only about the timeline for 1 Corinthians is 57 to 59 AD, and up until Acts chapter 28, which is 64 to 65 AD, you still had some of the apostolic gifts going on. Some of it, not much. But because 1 Corinthians, the church at Corinth, had a synagogue there in Corinth, there was unbelieving Jews, and it was 57 to 59 AD, which lined up with about Acts chapter 20, some of those signs were still going on. Go over to what's going on today, though. Obviously, we're not in 57 to 59 AD. John to the church in about 91 to 96 AD. I know thy works and thy labor and thy patience, and how thou canst not bear them which are evil, and thou hast tried them which say they are apostles, and are not, and hast found them liars. So by the time you get to 91 to 96 AD, there's no more apostles. And even if you were converted under an apostle and you had the signs initially, Mark 16, by this time, you no longer have the signs and wonders. All the signs and wonders, the tongues that would have been going on at Corinth back in 57, 59 AD, those would be gone by now too. The Jews require a sign, and by the time you get to Acts chapter 28, around 64 to 65 AD, the Jews have sealed the last nail in their coffin for 2,000 years. Be it known, therefore, unto you that the salvation of God is sent unto the Gentiles, and they will hear it. Okay? So at this point, the Jews have said, now we do not want it, forget it, and the signs go with it, because the signs go with the apostles. So don't get worried and all stirred up when you're going through 1 Corinthians, wondering, oh my goodness, what is going on in here? The answers are in this book, and they're simple. You just got to know where to turn. And the answers are in this King James Bible in English. They're not in Greek. Greek and Hebrew will just confuse you. And you can be just a garbage man or a welder like me and figure it out. If I can figure it out, you can figure it out. All right, I'm going to keep working on your upload.